Hi Flosstube, this is Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher. Welcome to my channel. Today is August 27th and this is video number 90. 10 away from 100, which is crazy. It's crazy because I feel like I'm just did video 1 recently. In fact, I've had a couple people say that they just binged all my videos, which that's like a huge time commitment. So if you've been here for the whole time, you know, I'm so glad that you're still here. And if you're new to my channel or you came somewhere in between, I'm glad that you came as well. This is a channel about needlework, basically mostly cross stitch, but I enjoy quilting, although I haven't sewn for quite a while. I like all kinds of handwork, wool applique, and of course I like shopping because that's it's the derivative hobby from all of that. It's all the things that you want to make that you see other people making. So since the last video, let's see, I think I told you I was going to a girls' weekend. I did that. It was a little too chilly for us to float the river. So I went to my friend's house and we just sat around and played dominoes on the deck with all the girlfriends. And we had a great time. I just love catching up with those girls. I don't see them all that much, but it's like we're never apart. So I did that, and then let's see, I came home. I was on vacation for a week. I came home, worked a little bit, and I worked 13 hours that Sunday. And I worked the next day. I was planning to take it off, but I was off the rest of that week, and I went to a family reunion, and that was 100% off the grid. So it's at a camp that people, they rent this out to church. It's like a church camp, a Boy Scout camp, Girl Scout, whatever. It can be rented. And we love it. I'm going to put some pictures at the end just of the campsite. You might see a couple family pictures, but I don't have, I didn't ask anybody if I could put on my video, but I just want you to see the trees are so big that it would take 3 or 4 people with their arms around it to get their arms around the base of the tree. They're just incredible. And you don't really understand the grandeur and the awe of it until you're sitting there and looking up at them and just how enormous these trees are. There's a little creek that goes through, or a river that goes through the some of the camp property, so you can go down and put your feet in the river, hang out, swim. It was beautiful weather. It was really kind of hot at the beginning, hot and muggy, but which is unusual for us. It's in the summer. It's usually really very beautiful around here. So I did take some projects when I went to the family reunion, but the central meeting area that's like the kitchen and dining, we just ended up that the lighting's not great there. I did work on one project, which I'll show you because I haven't finished, but it was the one I stitched in hand. I took my stand and my light. It was just not very convenient. So, but stitching in hand was fine. So I finished that one, which is great. And then I came home. I've been working, and this weekend I had taken Friday off to paint my front porch. And I did get all the stuff purchased for that, got things ready to wash the front porch. And then my son came home and he needs money and I need help. So I've hired him to do that job. And that frees me up to do a video. And I think I'll spend some time in my craft room today. I need to do some work for work. But man, I just miss those kids. They're such great help and they're so much fun. I just love adult children. I love them. I love them at all ages, but when they're adults, they love, and we're so thankful for the experiences they had as kids, and they don't realize it until they get out and have to take care of themselves. How much, how good it really was at home. And, we were talking, I said, it's nice to come home, isn't it? And they said, yes, absolutely. So now that's what's happened, the life update since the last video. I did also pick up 2 items that I had finished at a frame shop in Silverton, Oregon. It's called Silverton Art and Frame, and I will put their contact information below. Molly is the framer who does all the needlework, and it's in her heart. She loves doing needlework framing, and they were both just fantastic to work with. I don't know the gentleman's name. I can't remember. Maybe Scott. I'm not sure. But I highly recommend them. They're excellent, especially if you can obviously do long distance. So if you contact them and you mail your item, you can work with them on selecting frames and they will ship it. It'll be safe. It's easier for a shop to stitch framed pieces that don't have glass, and that just goes for every shop if they're going to ship it. But she will do a good job of taking care of your items. And let me just show you what I've got. So I took in a piece that I had previously finished and just framed myself, and I really didn't like the way it looked. I mean, I like the frame and I like the piece, but I didn't like them together. They didn't quite go together. It is this one on the book, this book, Joyous Noel by Blackbird Designs. And I apologize, this is out of print. Hopefully she'll reprint this one. This also has the 'Tis the Season that was eventually put in the Home for the Holidays book. So this one I chose a double frame, and I can't tell you how much I love this. This isn't a fillet. This is actually a frame, and then this white just sets it off beautifully. It is stitched on Silvery Moon by Zweigart, which is the very, very, very palest of blues. And it's so crisp. She did such a great job of stretching this. I really love the way this turned out. So that is the first one that I had redone. And then the next one is by Cottage Garden Samplings. I can never remember the name of this. What is this called? I'll put it across here. This chart, I stitched this last year. I got this frame this summer so that it would be done for winter and for Christmas. And it's by Cottage Garden Samplings. I just don't know why I can't remember the title. Treehouse Fiber Arts, Rachel from Treehouse Fiber Arts has this kitted in her Etsy shop, I believe. Are you not dying? I love this piece, and this frame is just perfect for it. Molly did such an outstanding job. This was not an easy piece to frame because it is, a little bit wider at the bottom, but you really see the border around the top more than the bottom. She did a fantastic job. I just love the way this came out. The chocolate walnut stain really picks up on that mocha fabric, and it is so pretty. I just love it. I can't stand it. I just love it so much. So there's this one, and there's this one. Okay, hopefully that's my screenshot. Let me put these down. Now, one moment, please. So what have I worked on? Well, I did work on this one, and let me see if I can get something to put it behind it. I didn't. I'm videoing at a different spot, so it is. All my normal stuff isn't around. This is Grace on Thee, I believe. This is by Plum Street Samplers. It's a kit that I got through Dying to Stitch, but it has been released and is available. I'm sorry, this is kind of blowing out a little bit and flickering. It's because I have this white behind it. So let me just see if I can do it without that. Yeah, that's better. This is the one that I've stitched in hand. And once I got I called it grout last time. It's not grout, it's mortar. Grout's with a tile that you use in your house. Mortar is what you use with bricks. Anyway, I had that done, and I was starting to work on the bricks, and I just really was able to cruise along on this one. It was so much fun to stitch, and as per usual, Paulette has big, beautiful houses in her design, so that does take a hot minute, but all the quilting Ohio stars that she puts in her pieces, I just love. Love, love, love it. So I'm going to get that one framed. I did that one. And so this is all part of I'm working down my whips. So the second one I worked on is a piece from, this is so small. This is from Heartstring Samplery. And let me see if I do have the design. This came from Quilter Station at a retreat last fall. So I would imagine that Beth will probably release this pretty soon. She stitched it on 32 count, and I think it is a graham cracker fabric line from Teresa Vanette's son. And this, she did 3 pillows, 2 over 2, but I wanted to stitch it on one piece altogether and 1 over 1. So that's what I did. I started it at the retreat. I had actually quite a bit of it done, and then I just finished it. Just took a few nights to finish. And I have, this is the thread keep that came with it. Isn't this adorable? And there's a lot. I think there's a second project that this also, the thread from this goes to that project. But it's just really nicely done. Very, very well done kit. Beth does an extraordinary job. So I bought this, I want to put this on a box, and I bought this box at Hobby Lobby. I had not been to Hobby Lobby for a long time. So it was nice to just cruise around the store, see what they had, but this should fit pretty well on top of this box. And I plan to paint the box, and I might do some decoupaging as well. So we'll see how that turns out. This opens up, and I also bought a little tin needle case. This was in the cross stitch section, and a measuring tape. I love these. I keep one of these in my purse all the time because you never know when you're going to need to measure something. Usually it's not very big. I mean, I don't have the Carpenter's 100-foot one. I just have this little one. And so this will go in here. I have a couple of bee scissors that I bought from Beth at that retreat also, and they will go in this little drawer down here. So I'm really excited to work on this finish. I've really been stalled out. I have like 26, 27 finishes that I need to work on, but I need to get some time. I need to stay home, not take vacation, and need to be caught up on work so that I can make that a priority. Let's see. So those were the two that I worked on that I finished. And this video is going to be shorter than usual. This one is, I worked on this a little bit yesterday and today. This is Forget Me Not Sampler by Sabine Terrera with European Reproduction Samplers. The pictures inside the house, I didn't bring it out, but I finished this motif. This one, it was mostly finished, but I did finish that, and I plan to come back and work on this now. This one has been calling to me, and I absolutely love it. This is all stitched with DMC. That's a better, here, let me do this. I'll just tip it down a little bit so it doesn't blow out the picture. But this is all DMC, and it is very rich color palette. It's just so beautiful. I love, love, love stitching on this. Now it is a little bit confetti-ish, and I do stitch with it on my lap stand and a 11 by 17 Q-snap. But that doesn't make me mad. I mean, I like stitching in hand, and I like stitching on, I prefer a Q-snap over a frame. I do have a roller frame. I just found it was difficult to use for me. But I love this. I love it a lot. So those are the things that I worked on. Let's see. So I'm going to move some of this out of the way and talk a little bit about what is coming up. So this is Sampler September, and in the last video I showed you two pieces that I was focusing on that are fall oriented, which is quilts, and that's by Long Dog Sampler, and then Autumn at Lazy Mare Mountains. So I'm going to continue to work on those, but in September I'm going to integrate a couple things. Well, first of all, I'm going to start this, and I know that Carol Whitchurch from Saltbox and I kind of chatted about starting this one, and I'm definitely going to start it. I know that Carol, it's hard, right? Because you're trying to get your whips down when you start something this big. Rosary Sampler by GGR, which is one of the prettiest samplers I've ever seen, quite frankly. It is so beautiful. I can't wait to start this. I'm probably going to start it September 1st. I have the threads ready to go. And then the fabric I chose, I don't even remember what it is, honestly. Oh, this is a Silk Weaver 46 count Bergen. And it's a beautiful kind of a lightly modeled sampler color. So I think I might have a couple of threads in here that I may have to switch out when I stitch it. Depends on where they are in the pattern, if they're surrounded by other colors or not. Like sometimes that white might not be white enough, or the kind of taupe color there. Some of these might just blend in too much. We'll see. I might leave it too, because it might just look a little ghosty, and that's okay. Sometimes it's to have that aged kind of faded look. Looks really beautiful. So we'll just have to try it out. And so sometimes I entered these projects not exactly knowing how it's going to look. And that happened with the Sarah Chapel pattern. And oh, by the way, I saw that Farm Girl has that in her clearance section on her page. So if you've thought about buying it, you might go over and check that out and see if it's still available. But I changed the color of the border flower on that one. And I think I tried 4 different colors before I picked one that was the right color for me. And I just wanted to zhuzh it up a little bit. And that's the only reason why I changed that. But this is in my future. This is the only one that I have planned. I have another one that I've been thinking about. I don't know. I might not be able to resist it. We shall see. And you won't know until I figure out if I'm gonna do it, and then I'll show you in a future video. All right, so I'm cooking along here. This is going to be a shorter video, which is not bad. When I was in Hobby Lobby, and I was looking for the box, and also kind of what they had in their clearance or in their fall decor. So they're starting to put out Christmas stuff, but in their fall decor, they had a lot left still. I bought this. This was in the fall decor section. It's a little, those little. I think this is half off. It's like $2. So there's this charcuterie board or cheese board. And then I also found this. This was in the quilting section. Bobbins and things. And it's a ceramic. It is glazed. So it's like and you take the lid off and it's just a container. Somebody said you should put chocolate in that. I was like, oh yeah. I did it in my craft room. My sister saw this and she goes, oh my God, I need that. There was only one at the Hobby Lobby I went to, and it was in the quilting notion section. So what I thought was interesting, and I guess because I haven't been there for a long time, you start to see some of the trends of what we do as a community show up in the big box stores, like the accoutrement that comes with cross stitching. Sorry, itchy nose. The pretty scissors, the bags, the extra goodies, the tapes, the corner gauges starts to show up. And so you see that in the cross stitch section, but it sort of has crossed over into quilting too, where there's some bags, there's some decorative tins, there's this canister, ceramic canister. So if you're looking for that, that is where I found it, was over in the quilting notion section. Because I needed one more thing for my craft room. And as Anna from Quilt Roadies would say, or Stitch Roadies, she's like, you're trying to get rid of stuff? I call BS on that. You're probably right, Anna. All right, so this I saw on, I don't know if it's eBay or Etsy. It's a Maggie Bononomy book. I think I showed you one last time that I got, and this is another one that I picked up. I do love this. She is so whimsical, and she does her designs resonate with me because she's very not restrictive or structured. She just does what makes sense and pleases her eye. She is so creative, such a creative soul to meet. And I'm super jealous that Lori Wilson and her friend Sandy went to a retreat with Maggie and with Doreen Frost, who is from Vermont. I followed Doreen on Instagram for a long time and would love to have met her. Oh, go watch Lori Wilson's video. Her last video that is a couple hours long, so it's really long. I have watched it once. I'm going to watch it again. It is one of the best videos I've seen in a long time. Eye candy for days. They show, so they live in Utah, close to Jill Rensel's studios. In fact, I think they drop in and they found some pretty nice frames in the free box. I was like, oh my gosh, I would die for that. But some of their finished items has Jill Rensel Studios finishing touches of like accent little painted flowers on the frames. They're beautiful. Her friend Sandy brings over, she has all of the Hollyberry Farm pieces by Stacey Nash framed, all similarly, but they all are right for that particular stitched piece. They are gorgeous. So highly recommend that one. Oh, another channel I started watching was Sissy's Gentle Pursuit. I think it just might be Gentle Pursuit Designs. And she showed some of her antique samplers, jaw-dropping. So again, I would recommend her channel. I'll link them both below, but I think she just has 2 videos out. She's so sweet. She has such a sweet disposition. But and I think she does teaching. I think she does at on site and also Zoom teaching pieces. So I love what she's reproduced. I'm gonna have to go see if I can locate some of her samplers. Anyway, so there's this one from Maggie Bononomy. I'm rambling on. She does this cute like little slippers. I mean, let's see, there's a couple pieces. I love hers kind of primitive floral pieces. I do love like this one too, Simplify. And one of the things that Maggie does that I really like is her letters are sort of genuine. Oh, look at this one. Oh, it's a bed, like you would put at the end of the bed, and it says sleep on it. Let me see if I can get this one without putting the pattern piece on there. See how that looks? And the wools are so pretty. So she partners with Primitive Blackberry, Tanya at Primitive. I'll put it down below here. I can't remember the name. Primitive Blackberry, I think. And also I picked up, I'm not sure if I showed you this, just a bag of cream colored buttons. So to me, I'm a tactile person in a lot of respects. I love just like beads and buttons and kind of picking, sorting through them, rummaging through, looking at them. I especially love buttons that are strung on like this, kind of strung all together on a thread, or maybe just, put on, here you go. Here's a combination of a thread and a pin. And so five times blessed. She was at the Attic Needlework. Well, she comes every year. By the way, I can't wait for the Attic Needlework videos to start flowing through. I did watch Barry at Stitch Folk. Hers was, talk about another great video. I really just I would love to have gone this year, but honestly, Lori and I had to just kind of think about what we could really do this year and what we would maybe wait to do, because we've got some other trips coming up. But I just love the Attic Needlework. Summer school is fantastic. And really it's about being with stitchers, seeing the beautiful things people have made, are working on, collaborating, learning, just socializing with the designers, and all of the history and the knowledge that's shared there. So it's one of the best retreats for that. There are 5 designers, so you're paying for that, but it's worth every dollar. So I'm excited to see the videos that come from that. Anyway, so five times blessed, she brings little bits of ephemera and things like strung up tiny little beads on a string that just makes my heart go pitter patter. So anyway, I bought that off of eBay. I don't think it was like $15, $10, something like that. And then last, you guys are gonna laugh. So Teresa Kitten Stitcher, she knows how to market to me. I'm her target audience, I think. She's like, what can I make Lisa buy? And she put red, white, and blue, the threads of the bind, she put that together on her site. I didn't get over there and buy it in time, so I ended up buying some others, but I'm going to buy some more from her. I think this came from Fat Quarter Shop. I love blues. And I just feel like there's going to be a quilt in this. Well, at least one, right? In here. I do like these little star prints too. This is super. Almost, she's right on. It just kind of has that 4th of July look to it. So I bought that. I did hear that Alma's not going to do any more fabric, so you might want to buy if you want it, you buy it now, because in a year there probably won't be a whole lot left, and it won't be reasonable. It won't be retail price. It'll be whatever the market will command for secondary, for limited quantities. So get it now. And what else is coming? So this next 2 weeks, next weekend is, so I'm going to work on finishing this weekend. I'm excited for that. I need to clean my craft room. It feels like it's just a disaster all the time. And So I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on some finishing. I am going to next weekend go with my husband to work on the shop that he's building for the tiny house. So that's exciting. He's setting poles for the barn, for the shop, for the pole. He's going to build a pole building. Usually we make stick built shops, but he's making a pole building. I don't know how it works. I just show up and, hand nails and do all that stuff for him. And so we're going to do that. What else? I don't know. Then before you know it, it's fall. Sampler September. So I'm definitely going to work on Rosary Sampler and probably the Forget-Me-Not Sampler as well. You never know. Things might change between now and then. So that is all I have for today. I'll probably see you in a couple weeks. In the meantime, I just hope you have a blessed 2 weeks, that you have great stitching time, and we will see you in the future. Take care.